cell phone situation. Does everyone here have a cell phone? Good. Cell phones are excellent tools, but boy, they sure do get you in trouble. You gotta know how to use it. I think you're better off without one personally, but I'm just an old guy. Does anyone have any questions about what we did yesterday, what you want to do today, or anything at all? Any kind of question? Nothing? Can you explain to me how to land an airplane? I can't hear you. What? Okay, that's pretty much it. But one thing about if you press down on the elevator control and you put the nose of the airplane down, what's going to happen to your speed? What? You're going to go faster. Why? Do what? All right, you're adding gravity to power. You got a power setting that has you go a certain speed, and then you push the nose over and add gravity to that. That's going to make you go faster. Well, you get close to the ground. Do you want to hit the ground with the nose down? Why not? I can't hear you. Yeah, it'll crash. Define the crash. What's going to hit the ground first? Not a good idea. Nose is going to hit the ground first. What do you want to hit the ground first? The main wheels. That's the two wheels just behind you, the main wheels. So in order to do that, you have to raise the nose up. If you're going super fast and you raise the nose up, what's going to happen? Yeah, speed's going to slow down. But are you going to stay close to the ground? No. Yeah, you're going to climb. You're going to go away from the ground. Well, the objective is to get on the ground. So what do you have to do? You got to slow down. How are you going to slow down? You raise the nose, that'll help slow you down. What else will help slow you down? Pull the power back. How much? All the way? Eventually, yes, but not right away. Just reduce the power. So you reduce the power. How do you know how much to reduce the power? Or how do you know if you come back on the throttle, how do you know whether you're reducing the power or not?
Yeah, he's about 5 minutes away. He's got his community relations guy outside.
Okay.
I forget his name. I've worked with him so much. I can't remember his name.
Hey, you.
Well, not quite that.
So you do reduce the power. You pull this throttle back. How do you know how much to pull it back? How do you know how much the throttle is producing? You can look at the RPM indicator, and it will tell you what the how fast the prop is turning. And you can look at the airspeed indicator, and it will tell you how fast you're moving through the air. Does that make sense? Okay. At what point is the airplane going to stall and drop out of the sky when you reduce the power on the airspeed indicator? Okay, you got the idea right, but how do you know in the airplane? You look at the airspeed indicator, and it has colors on it. There's a white arc. When you get on the simulator, look at your white arc. See this white arc? What that means, that's basically your flap range, but it'll, and then what's your stall speed on the airplane? And that's what you need to learn. The stall speed on the airplane is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 50, 55, 60 miles an hour, or knots. So when this needle gets that slow, that tells you the airplane's ready to stall. And that's what you want, because you're landing. You don't want to, you're trying to stop, so you want to get it slow. But you want to time it where it stalls just as you're 1 inch above the ground on the runway. That's your objective. When you make a power change, don't all the way back, all the way forward, all the way back, all the way forward. Move it just a little bit. Gently come back a very short distance. If that's not what you want, move it some more. Move it further. When you look at the gauge and you look at the throttle and you reduce the power, what's going to happen to the nose? Huh? Nose is going to drop. How are you going to know it? You have to look out the window. When you raise the nose to prevent it from dropping, what's going to happen to your airspeed? It gets slower. Well, in landing, that's what you want. You want to get it slower where you can land. And you don't have to worry about flying back up in the air. The objective is to get it on the ground, slowly. Okay. Yeah. So, how you make the power adjustments is important. You don't just jerk it around, and you don't move it real big movements. Obviously, when you're going to take off and you've got the power all the way back, you want it to go, you put it, you add big movements. That'll work. Okay. I think this is the one here you want to take.
He does everything. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Skip job.
Yeah, we met out at the airport
Yeah.
years ago.
I remember that.
Yes, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
Skip on here, we've been a couple times. You doing okay?
Doing fine.
It's good to
Doing
see you.
fine.
Thanks for having us today.
Well, hey,
Not bad.
what we've got here, our objective is unfortunately, you're the bad guy. A lot of people think you're the bad guy. That's not right. We gotta fix that. You're not the bad guy. You're the good guy.
I would think so.
And that's what we want. And these people need, these kids need to understand that you're the good guy. And we want to introduce you to them, let them, you tell them whatever you want to tell them, and let them ask you some questions. And I'm sure you do this every day, so please.
Let's do it. Hey guys, how are y'all?
Hi.
Okay, so this will probably be the least fun you're gonna have today, because I see the simulators back there, those look freaking amazing. I don't know what any of those things do, but it looks pretty cool.
We'll take you on the flight. You can fly one.
No, I don't want to wrap up, scream and yell and everything.
No.
That's pretty cool. Have y'all been on those yet?
Yes.
How is it?
Fine.
It's crazy, isn't it? They look wild. Alright, so I'm Andy Hobbs. I'm the Chief Deputy of the East Camden County Sheriff's Office. I've been at the Sheriff's Office about 22 years. Do the math at 46. I'm the youngest Chief Deputy the Sheriff's Office has ever had. I was born and raised here in Pensacola. My mother raised me by herself. When I was 1, my mother and father got divorced. So I grew up in every trailer park Pensacola has to offer. I grew up in Silver Lake, Mount Forest Road, majority of my life. And then we moved to Little, my mom got a job that she could afford a little more, so we moved to Timberlake Trailer Park. And it had pools, which I was pretty excited about. And cable. First time I ever had cable was when we moved to Timberlake. Wow. Yeah, back in the day you only had an antenna, so you got 3 channels. They're all not great. Except on Friday nights, Miami Vice was on. Woo! Yeah, old school right there. So I went to Longleaf Elementary, I went to Bellevue Middle, and I went to Pine Forest High School. For a short time, I moved back to Pensacola. So I told you I was raised by a single mother. She worked about 3 or 4 jobs to try to give us whatever she could. There was days I'd come home, power would be turned off, water would be turned off, and she couldn't afford bills all the time. She was working on the jobs, and she was trying to put food on the table. My dad was nowhere to be found. He acts like he was now. He's not coming back in pictures of it. You know, that's kind of how people want to do. So, the end of my 5th grade year, my mother got a job in the state of Florida. We had moved to Tallahassee. So we moved the trailer that we had in Timberlake to another trailer park in Tallahassee. Interestingly enough, I'm going into middle school, and I go to a Bellevue Middle School there too. I was going into a Bellevue Middle School, and I went to a Bellevue Middle School, so it was weird. So, 6th grade, we really don't know anybody. We have some relatives outside of Tallahassee, Wakulla County, but we don't really know anybody. So, my mother thought I needed a male role model in my life. Didn't really have any. So she got me involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So my big was a professor at Florida State University. So he told me about the importance of education, the importance of doing the right things. During that time, I did a commercial for Big Brothers Big Sisters. They did this little ad thing. So it was at Florida State. While I'm there, I met Bobby Bowden. Coach Bobby Bowden, who at one time was one of the winningest coaches in the history of college football. And his defensive coordinator, Mickey Andrews. They're both in the College Hall of Fame. They spent 4.5 hours with me, and they didn't have to. I was some sixth grade, poor kid who no one knew, but they spent all day with me. And that stuck with me my whole life. It told me, no matter how successful you become, you always make time for others. You give them the opportunity you never had, because that's your job. A leader reaches up and helps people up to come with them. So that's why I'm a lifelong Florida State fan. Since that day, I've been a Florida State fan. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm a Florida State fan. When they sucked, because they sucked, I have still been a Florida State fan because I felt like they were a part of my family. And we'll tell a story about how that kind of all came around circle pretty shortly. Middle of my 7th grade year, I have never been a person who shies away from a fight. I don't have any brothers. I don't have any sisters. So everything I ever got into was with me. Ain't nobody else come to save me. It was me. I was never concerned about a fight. Not that I won every fight, but even the ones I didn't win, they knew I was there. Well, middle of my 7th grade year, I get into a fight. At that school in Tallahassee, you would leave the school and you have to walk around outside to get into another class. So it was weird. They didn't want you walking inside the school. They had all these doors from the outside that came into the school. So we're in the back, and I get in a fight with a gentleman. I use that regularly. He was beginning to lose the fight. So during that time, he pulled out a pen knife. It looks like a pen, but inside is a knife. And he decided to stab me. Stabbed me in my left shoulder right here. I still have a scar from it. He still lost the fight because, I mean, we're already there. We got to handle what we got to handle. But then I go to the principal shows up, the dean shows up, and they sit me there with the knife sticking in my arm. It's about, blade's about that long, about that thin. Thank God it wasn't big, or he probably told me. So my mom gets there and freaks out because there's a knife sticking in my arm, and they have to call an EMS or anything like that. We go to the doctor, they put a couple stitches in it, no big deal. I never went back to school there. The next day, my mother took a demotion in the state of Florida. Even when we lived in Tallahassee, she had to work 2 jobs. She worked at J.C. Penney's and she worked in the state of Florida. She took a demotion and moved me back to Pensacola where we had family. And she thought that that would help me not fight. So I go back to Bellevue. Back in the day, so 46, so a couple years ago, I had this old mullet haircut and a mirror. Not the best look I've ever had, I promise you. Was not my best look. So, I go to Pine Forest High School, I play sports. I have a lot of friends growing up that do a lot of stupid things. My mother was working her butt off to give me everything she could. But again, we still weren't the wealthiest people in the world. We didn't have a lot of money. I didn't know that at the time because she worked her butt off to make sure I got everything I could. But a lot of my friends sold drugs. A lot of my friends did stupid things. And some of my friends went to prison. And by the grace of God, I never went to prison or jail. I've been arrested. As a kid, I was arrested for fighting. As a kid, I had a negative interaction with law enforcement because I played sports, but I grew up with people that were gang members. So when I saw them out, they're just my friends. Kids I grew up with since kindergarten. I had negative interaction with law enforcement. The sheriff's office back then was nothing it is today. The people they hired back then, some of them were not great. I had a taillight broken out. I was thrown on the ground because I was talking to a friend of mine who was a gang member. The only thing I thought it was my friend since kindergarten. I didn't think about that. And yes, I was a smart mouth when the deputy pulled me over, I'm sure, because I was a jerk. Not to people, but I'm sure I had to hear I was like PO'd because they pulled me over and they were asking who this person was. Of course, I know better than just tell them who it was. So I'm sure I was a smart mouth and be like, yeah, it's my friend from kindergarten. You know what they do? I don't know, they go to school? I'm sure I was a smart mouth, but still didn't deserve to be yanked out of the car, thrown on the ground, my tail light broken out and everything else. You know what I mean? My uncle was a PPD officer, so I didn't really have an opinion of law enforcement either way until that day. Then I didn't think of it. I told my uncle, he was like, well, you probably did this, you probably did that. Of course, it was my fault. And some of it probably was. Hindsight being 2020, that guy was a jerk. He ended up going to prison. That deputy ended up going to prison because he had sex with an underage person and got her pregnant. Again, that person wouldn't be hired at the sheriff's office today. That person wouldn't even get in the front door of our agency. That was over 25 years ago. So, fast forward, I graduate high school. I go to Pensacola State College. It was PJC at the time. I started PJC. Quit after my first semester because I don't have the money to go. My mama doesn't have the money, I gotta do a job. I had a job, but I need a full-time job. So I go start working. Somebody comes up to me, and I'm doing well. At the time, cell phones were kind of a new thing at the time. I told you how long ago it was. Cell phones were not what they are today. They looked like big square boxes, and they had stupid buttons on it, and the only game we had was this stupid snake game where they kind of moved around. It was stupid. Crazy stupid. Yeah, you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the things we had, they didn't have no cameras on them, they had no games, and when you called somebody, it charged you like $2.75 a minute. Wild. So you didn't call a lot. So, I was doing really well, because back then, when you sold a cell phone, you made some cash. So I was doing well. But it wasn't something that you could have a career with. So someone says, why don't you become a deputy sheriff? Why don't you go to law enforcement? Why don't you go to... Your uncle, at the time, my uncle was a captain at Pensacola Police Department. He was Chip Simmons, the sheriff now, patrol captain. And I'm thinking, well, he does okay. He has a nice house. He's got a boat. Got a nice car. I'm thinking, well, shoot, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that. Now, I'm a little concerned about the things I did in my past coming up, but maybe I can. So I went to the police academy and figured out I was really good at it. I ended up graduating second in my class. The guy who beat me, Bert Lopez, ends up getting shot and killed 2 years later at Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. He got into a disturbance, domestic violence, and was shot and killed. Him and another deputy were shot and killed. So I started working. Warrington was my district. We call it 3 and 4. It's Warrington, and it goes up to Myrtle Grove area, this whole area. And I loved it. Now I had to go see some of my friends that I grew up with, but I was able to help them. I was in a position to help people that I grew up with, that were in bad spots. I was able to give them resources. I was able to help them. I was able to do stuff. Now I will tell you this, the first time I walked up to some of my friends that lived on Harris Boulevard, I got a weird look. They were like, what are you doing in that uniform? And I lost some friends. And that's okay, because as you rise, you're going to lose people. That happens. As we try to better ourselves, if friends of ours do not want to be better, they're going to try to pull you down, or they're going to leave you. You need to let them leave you. Because there's a lot of people in our lives who say they're our friends, but they do not want you to be more successful than them. Jealousy is one of the worst traits a human being can have, and we all have it, sadly. You know, if you see somebody has a brand new outfit that you really wanted, and they got it first or something like that, it can make you upset a little bit. That does me. Mr. Ronnie here, when he wears a good-looking suit, I get a little jealous. Man, he's looking good today. He took off the jacket. I don't know why, because it was sharp. It was a whole sharp outfit. He did pretty good today. Yeah, he did a good job. So I started the sheriff's office. I've become one of the youngest field training officers the sheriff's office ever had. The quickest, within a year of working here, I became a field training officer. They changed the policy after that, trying not to allow people that have been there 1 year to become field training officers. I've now changed that back, of course. I did get promoted to sergeant, and I'm over Homeland Security, I'm over all these different things, but I continue to serve our community. And then Sheriff Warren promotes me to major over community services, public information, all those different things. And I continue to rank up. I'm now married. I've been married for 12 years to my wife, Nicole. She is a manager at Navy Federal over risk management. I have 2 children. Granger is 9, just turned 9, and Nora is 5. I pay all my mom's bills. My mother is still alive. She lives in Myrtle Grove. She's 77, and I pay all her bills. I make sure she gets to go on vacation. I make sure she wants for nothing, because she busted her butt my whole life. So you fast forward, and I tell this story to tell this. I was able to serve on the board of directors for the Big Brothers Big Sisters program for Northwest Florida. I was the only little to serve as a board member for the whole United States for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I was able to push that program and explain to people how it changed my life, how it showed the importance of education. It showed the importance of mentorship. It showed me how important the people we have around us are. Fast forward a little more. 6 months ago, the governor of Florida calls me, Governor Ron DeSantis, and says, we're going to appoint you to the Board of Trustees for Pensacola State College. The college I could not afford to go to. I now sit as a Board of Trustees. I make the decisions, along with the president of that college and the other boards, on which direction that college goes to. This agency gave me that opportunity. This community gave me this opportunity. But I took every opportunity that was given to me. I sit on 5 nonprofit boards. Those nonprofit boards give back to my community every single day. Manna Food Pantry, who gives food back to our community. I sit on the board of that one because that was something my mother had to do sometimes. Covenant Care, the system that helps when people are dying and things like that. But now we have Noni's House. Noni's House helps young people when they have a loss, like a parent dies or grandparent dies. They help them deal with that grief. The Sheriff's Foundation. The Sheriff's Foundation that gives back to our community every day for movie nights and all the other things they do. And they also help the men and women of our Sheriff's Office. I was born a 7th round pick. Everybody know football terms, right? Football, the NFL draft, all that. We understand 7th round, the end of the round. I was born in life a 7th round pick. But I did not let that dictate where I was going. I didn't allow growing up in a trailer and not having any money dictate where I am today. I didn't allow having stupid friends that did stupid things dictate where I went in life. And now I have the opportunity every day to give back to this community. A community I love. I can move. I'm now an FBI National Academy graduate. I went to Quantico for 12 weeks. I have every certification. I'm the first person in my family to graduate college. The Sheriff's Office paid for me to go to college. I can look at my children and say, you're going to go your butt to college because I have to do it. Y'all got to do it. But honestly, they don't have to, as long as they're going to do something. If they want to get certifications in air conditioning, plumbing, electrician, plumbers and electricians make a lot of money. And as AI rises with artificial intelligence, a lot of jobs we have today will not be there tomorrow. So you have to make yourself marketable. So whatever that looks like. Pilots are always going to be a need. Because I'm not going to trust. So I was off the topic. There's places that are using AI and autonomous vehicles to fly people around. I am not going to trust that. I want a human being. I want to know the cat that's in front of me. I want him to say hi to me as I walk on the airplane. I want to feel that he cares as much as I care about making it there. Because a pilot wants to get there because they want to get home too. An autonomous vehicle doesn't care if they crash. They're not going to feel bad about losing you. So I'm a big fan of having human pilots. You fast forward, I said about Florida State. Last season, myself and my son, Granger, were able to go to his first Florida State game because I didn't want to take him there until he really appreciated it. A friend of mine, Clay, was a state representative in this area. Now he works for Florida State. He's the president of some silliness over there. I think it's, he does a lot of things in Tallahassee. He got us on the sidelines for 2 games. The last game, Coach Norvell walks up and shakes my son's hand and says, hope we have a good win for you this time, Granger. My son is now going to be a lifelong fan. That coach, Coach Norvell, who makes $10 million a year, who doesn't know an 8-year-old at the time for anything, took the time to walk over to my son and say hello, shake his hand, and knew his name. My son has told every friend he has and every friend he doesn't have that story about his interaction. And I'm trying to tell you this to understand the impactfulness you have on somebody in your life. What you can do in your community. What you can do for your neighborhood. I'm going to ask y'all a personal question. All right? Just be honest. I ain't going to ask y'all who. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Who here knows someone who sells drugs? Raise your hand. Who here knows someone's been arrested? Raise your hand. Okay, y'all think? Nobody? 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 You got to look at me like you weren't sure. Nobody? Good job. You. life, you're gonna have to decide if you stay around these people or not. It's a hard decision I ever made. Being arrested doesn't make you a bad person unless you're touching children and killing people. Selling fentanyl makes you a bad person. Fentanyl kills people every single day. But selling drugs doesn't make you a bad person. It means you take the easy way. You're taking that easy money. That easy money that doesn't really get you anywhere because you're going to get arrested. We all know that's going to happen. Because there's too many snitches in the world. There's too many ways you get arrested. And you lose it all. They're doing it the easy way instead of working their butt to be something. Because if they're smart. They're smart during that game. They know how to handle business during that game. They can turn that around into business and make a lot of money and not have to worry about the police kicking in there. You know what I mean? So I tell you all this to just roll it into this. Everyone that works at the sheriff's office has a story. Everyone that works at the sheriff's office has come from something. They are just like you and I. They just wear a uniform. But I will tell you this, they're held to such a high standard. To get hired on the sheriff's office, you have to pass a polygraph, a psychological evaluation, and then a full background just to get in the door. It is one of the most difficult jobs in the United States to get. We hold such a standard because of Sheriff Chip Simmons' standard he holds for everyone that works for us, that those people we're hiring now, and we also run our own academy, so we can pick people out of our community and put them in our agency. We like to hire people from within our community because they know what's going on. They live these streets. And they love their community. I'll leave you with this. The people you surround yourself with is how successful you will be. So I told you I was married. When my wife was 9 years old, they moved to Pensacola, Florida. Her mother and her little sister. They moved from Utah to here to get away from an abusive man who tried to decapitate them, cut their heads off. She moved to Pensacola, Florida. They were homeless for 3.5 years here in Pensacola, Florida. Then they lived in Mahogany Mills. And then they were able to move across the street to a rental house. And then my wife was adopted at 13. My wife has 2 sisters, Kylie and Kiana. My wife is 5'11", blonde hair, blue eyes, and looks like a Division I athlete. My sister-in-laws are African American. When they see them 3 together, they have no idea what comes in. Heck, sorry. But I married a woman who was struggling. She comes from a family who knows struggle. One of my best friends is right here, Ronnie Rivera. He doesn't brag about himself very often. Homeless, drop out of high school, takes a bet to finish his GED, takes a bet to get his degree from Florida State University, takes a bet and gets his master's degree from Texas A&M. He doesn't struggle. My other 2 best friends are Sheriff Chip W. Simmons, one of the best friends I could ever have, and our Chief of Staff, Whitney Lucas. The youngest Chief of Staff in the state of Florida, 37 years old. Those people make me better. If you have people around you that know how to struggle and know how to be better, you're going to be better. Have you ever heard the words, iron forges iron? Steel forges steel. You're going to harden each other because you're the best. If you hang out with people that are losers, there's a good chance you're going to be a loser. If you hang out with people who don't care about their families, there's a good chance you're not going to care about your family. No one successful has ever stayed around people that were not successful. Every athlete, hip-hop artist, anybody you know has been taken down by the people they have around them. How many young people that were successful have been pulled down by their friends because we never want to leave our hometown. We never want to leave who we grew up with. We ain't got to leave them. They can come to us. they can come to us and not live some lives they're living and then be successful with us. Don't put yourself back down there with silliness. You bring yourself up and you bring the others with you. That's what a leader does. A leader pushes an opening, bulldozes the way to success, and then pulls their friends and their family with them if they want to come. Now, if they don't want to come, you leave them. It's the hardest decision. I've got family members I never talk to anymore because they chose not to come. They chose to continue with their silliness. You cannot be successful while you're worried about silliness. Eagles, when they're soaring, you'll see them soaring up there. You think they're worried about what the bluebirds and the cardinals and the pigeons are doing? No, because they're up there in that rare air of greatness. People say Tom Brady is hard to be with, hard to be around. No, he expects everybody to be on his level because that's why he's who he is. You tell people to get on your level. You hold a standard and you tell them to get on your level or get on. If I can do it, if my wife can do it, if Ronnie Rivera can do it, anyone else can too. Because I'm not right. I'm just working on it. I have dyslexia, so I read things backwards. I had to overcome that too. So as I tell you, I am not the best student. I'm just a hard worker. I'm not the best at anything, really. I'm good at some things, but I'm not great at anything. I'll take that back. I'm pretty great at being a dad. For not having a dad, I think I'm pretty good. Now, he'll say he was there, but he was not. I'm sure. He's still not there. He just comes and goes where he goes. This isn't human. But I don't have use for folks who can't fly like me with me. I'm going to turn over Mr. Rivera real quick, but when I tell you this man right here has done more for the road and Warrington area in the last 8 years than most people, that's not an exaggeration. He's put street lights in your neighborhoods. He has torn houses down in your neighborhoods. He has helped shut down drug houses in neighborhoods. And he has overcome. Second generation American. Second.
First of all, hi, I'm on. Stand up and shake your hand, please. So Sheriff Simmons always says, when you shake a man's hand, you ought to stand up, right? Hey, what's your name? You got brothers? Hi, Ronnie Rivera. Hey man, how you doing? Ronnie. Ladies, how are you doing? That counts for ladies too. Y'all are just very good. What's your name? What's your name? Are you guys sisters? No, okay. Well, you're no kid either one of them, right? Okay, right. All right, Ronnie Rivera. Sheriff Simmons is very big. We obviously, you guys may or may not know, we do the Laser Academy. Our foundation, the Sheriff's Office, comes together and we teach what's called a Laser Academy. We have one for men and one for women. If you guys see it online, make sure you sign up. We'd love to have you. But Sheriff Simmons is very committed to making sure that we shake each person's hand when we come in interaction with them, because it just shows your level of maturity, right? I'm not going to belabor the hour. The Chief spoke quite a bit about overcoming obstacles. Did anybody live in Warrington Village? I mean, the name Warrington Village has kind of moved on, but you lived over in the village. I had an opportunity to stay there a little bit, so I was homeless, stayed with a homeboy of mine for a little while, and we stayed in the village. Me and his mother and his father, actually his father was living there too, and then me and my mom ended up getting a place. We were in and out of cars for a little bit, so I got a chance to stay in the village for a little bit. It's an enlightening experience, I'll say it like that. I ended up dropping out of high school, and then, like he said, on a bet with a friend of mine said, hey, you think you're so smart, go take the GED. And I did. There was about 800 questions, and I missed about 3 of them. So, that doesn't say I'm smart, it just means I got really lucky. I studied a lot, I studied really hard for that test. And then it was kind of a double or nothing. He wanted to make his money back and said, hey, I bet you can't go to LSU. And in those days, in order to get financial aid, you had to take a 4-1. So that's kind of, I committed myself to when it was $100. I really wanted the $100. I didn't really care so much about the degree, right? I wanted the money. I was young and kind of silly, but I wanted to prove a point, and so I did do that. And then later on, I got a master's, all that stuff. All that to say, I tell you just a couple things. Number one, most importantly, and I think the Chief said it best, surround yourself with the best possible person. I always tell people, if you look to the left of you and look to the right of you, if this person is not amounting to much in their own personal life, it's a high likelihood that you're not going to amount to much either. So if you look at your partner to the left of you and to the right of you, in your future, whether you're sitting in a classroom, sitting in this room, sitting in any room, you're on a bus, you're in somebody's car, bless you, you're any of those places where your contemporaries, meaning people your age, are sitting close to you. If you look at them and they're not being successful, it's highly likely, unfortunately, they're not going to be successful. It's very rare if you're in a position where you're looking at a guy that owns a bank and he's sitting next to you and here's your buddy, it's highly likely you're going to be doing okay in your own personal life. It's just the rule of, it's the rule of law here. If you're sitting next to a guy that's on his way to prison, it's highly likely you're on that same bus with him, shackled, and you're going to prison as well. So just kind of take that for what it's worth. Number two, and I'll tell you this much. During the summertime, you are going to see this uniform in your neighborhood. It is just the nature of the business of summertime. Kids are out for the summer, and we're going to get calls for service to your neighborhood. Whether it's just a welfare check, anybody know what a welfare check is? Just checking on somebody, right? Just checking to make sure they're okay. Or maybe there's something more serious going on, right? And our green and gold has to pull up. We are not there to do people harm. We are there to make sure that people are getting the best possible service for something potentially bad. And when you call us, you called us on your worst possible day. So remember, when we pull up, about 300,000 calls for service a year. We're getting there and we're being as patient and as professional as we can, because Sheriff Simmons is very committed to the professionalism that we develop out in our community. We want to make sure that we show up on our best possible foot and give you guys the best possible service. That's what you should expect from the Sheriff's Office, right? You should expect for us to show up and do a great job for you and your community. Last thing I'll leave you with, because I would not do myself a good deed if I did not tell this story. I currently have a daughter that is 28 years old, okay? And she is an incredible kid. She had no desire whatsoever to do the job she's doing today. When she was a little kid, she obviously is a girl, she said, I want to be a pilot someday. And like all people, they changed their course of life. She went from that to wanting to be a paleontologist. I remember that for a while. She wanted to work with dinosaurs. And so she goes to college. We put her at Florida State, and she was young. She was 17 years old. And so she's in Tallahassee, going to college, doing her thing, and she majors in international affairs. I don't know if you know what that is, but it has nothing to do with piloting, okay? It has more to do with what we call soft science. It's kind of what I do, right? So she might have, if she graduated well at 21, which she did, she might have gotten a great job like what I do in community relations or marketing or something of that nature with this degree, and for businesses. But she came back from college. She's 21 years old, don't forget this. And she is, when I tell you that my daughter, of course, is the most beautiful daughter on the planet, she was.
No doubt.
She was Miss Washington High School, Miss Northview High School. She transferred to get two different trophies. I'm not lying. And she was also Miss Teen Florida. So when I tell you that this kid is beautiful, you would not expect that she has a hard science background, and she doesn't. But she is at the time bartending, which is not a favorite job of me as a father. And so I kept telling her, hey, you've got to come back to the house with a plan. I want a plan. I want to know what you want to do with your life, because this is not it. Even though you're beautiful now, there's going to be a day where you're kind of old and decrepit, a bit like me, right? Where you're a little bit older and you're not going to be able to get the types of tips that you once got as a young person. That's an industry for young people. And so I pushed her, and she came and she said, Dad, I want to be a Navy pilot. At this time now, she's already 23. She says, I want to be a Navy pilot. And of course I laughed. I said, so do I. Everybody wants to be a Navy pilot. That is one of the most premier jobs in the United States, to be a Navy pilot. And I said, I hear you, me too. I said, but you can't even park your car correctly in the driveway, and you cannot clean your room as efficiently as you should. What makes you think you can go into the Navy and have those types of restrictions on your life? And she said, Dad, just be patient. Help me through the process. I promise you I can get there. And I'm going to tell you, I can remember being a young person in her position or in your position and wanting just that next break. Just let me work hard enough to get that next break. And so I said, okay, I'll support you in this process. And it did. It took her 2 years from the time she told me that till she graduated with her paper, and she went to OCS, she became an officer in the Navy. And now she flies what's called P-8s. It's a big plane. They're submarine hunters, and she is stationed way on the other side of the country. She's in Seattle, where their planes are located. The reason I tell you that story about that kid, and she's my daughter, is that there's nothing, I promise you, if you have a desire in your heart today, it can come true. It just takes hard work, perseverance, and patience. And that's really, I promise you, all it takes. Everybody in this classroom, whether you're willing to tell me or not, has a dream. Okay? And what do you want to do when you grow up? Try what? Yeah. What do you want to do? That's what I'm talking about. I was the same way. Narrow it down to a specific field. Get you there. How old are you? Yeah. Just start specificing it down, try to get there, find some true love, and you will never, I promise you, I do not work a day in my life. I worked for Sheriff Simmons now for 5 years. He hired me when he first got elected, and I have the opportunity to do, this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. Can you imagine? I ride around in one of these cop cars all day long, and I go to talk to people about how wonderful we are. And I promise you, I have the best job I can. If there's something you want to do, you can do it. Surround yourself with winners, and you're going to get there. Okay, guys? I appreciate your time. I don't want to take too long. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful. Yes, sir.
I got a quick question. I was talking to a gentleman outside
Yes, sir.
about shot detectors on the roof.
Shock detectors.
Shot detectors.
Oh, shock detectors.
Yeah.
Shot spotters.
There's
Yeah.
not one of those.
Yeah, there's one.
There's not, what's
There's
there?
not one of those.
No.
No. But it's all new to me. Can you explain it?
Shot spotter?
Shot
Yeah,
detector.
either.
All
All
right,
right, go ahead.
so ShotSpotter is a technology that uses acoustic
All
or microphones.
authorized information Charlie now current altimeter 3004.
Oh, we're getting more landing on us,
I
right?
did too.
Well, there's-
Sorry about that.
So what it'll do is when a shot goes off, it can tell what direction it came from, what caliber it was, were somebody running while they were shooting, were they driving when they were shooting. So that's what it does. And it alerts the sheriff's office, but honestly, in a lot of cases, we're getting calls anyway. So it's kind of, we had ShotSpotter here for the last 2 years. The governor vetoed the money for it. It's about $400,000 a year more than we can afford. So the governor vetoed that, so we'll no longer have ShotSpotter. I will tell you, it's a great piece of technology in our real-time crime center, but it has not solved a crime. So we are not going to miss it, really, because honestly, if you engage your community, they're going to call you for information. So it tells you a lot of information, but unless you can coordinate it with cameras, in some cases you can coordinate it with cameras. So you can say, hey, it's only in certain areas, like a 3-mile radius. So right now we have it in Montclair, Mayfair area, because that's where the majority of our shootings occur. The city of Pensacola has it downtown, Pensacola, Halifax area, things like that. Neither one of us will have it after the end of October because the funding source has been cut off. And we still have 400,000. But it was in our real-time crime center. Our real-time crime center, as you all will know, is a state-of-the-art real-time crime center where we can pull up data as our deputies are going. You can also have, we have cameras where we can monitor all your school cameras go into our real-time crime center. Cameras that are in businesses, we monitor real-time. We can also get you to register your Ring doorbell, things like that. If a crime occurred, we can circle your area and send out a mass email. You can send it directly back. In the future, we are going to be the first agency in the state of Florida by the end of this month to have full drone operation on every shift. So in the future, we'll be able to live stream drone footage back to that real-time crime center who's using facial recognition and everything else they have technology-wise to solve crimes and give you information, our deputies. In the near future, if you call 911 on your cell phone, our dispatcher can send you a link, you can get it, and you can live stream what's going on in front of you back to the real-time crime center. As we make our cameras, we're putting cameras throughout Pensacola Beach, things like that. What it will do will eliminate the ability for bad guys to do bad things. Pensacola Beach, Blue Angel Air Show, you have 185, 200,000 people on the beach. Let's just say somebody says, how old are you? Okay, say I have a missing 11-year-old wearing a blue shirt, long hair, black shoes. In the real-time crime center, I can put that information in, and our cameras will make everybody else disappear. except everybody that matches your description. So instead of looking through 180,000 people, now I'm looking through 5 people. And it'll bring it back, and if I saw you get into a car, it'll tell me that. It'll do all those different things.
That's good.
So we can solve crimes quicker. We can help people missing quicker. We can do all those things. So that is the push that Sheriff Simmons has done with bringing technology and using it as a force multiplier to help our community. Because honestly, we all know bad guys don't want to do things on camera. So, you know, if these neighborhoods want to bring their camera systems online, things like that, but on a school, if you have a, God forbid, we ever had an active shooter, we can dial into that school, have that school up, and give real-time information to the deputies responding to that school. Who it is, what they're doing, what they're shooting, what they have, where they're at, who they have, everything, immediately. It's cutting edge. And when you align that with the drone program, we have now 14 licensed drone pilots, because every one of our deputies that do the drones have to be licensed drone pilots. So we're now so good, now we are able to do our own in-house certification for drone pilots.
Do they actually fly the drone from your station, or there are particular areas they?
No, we have them on shift. So there is technology to launch them from the sheriff's office. The problem is the cost of that, because our county is so large. More of a technology where you have to deploy your drone from on shift, like we do our canines. So our canines are on shift, our drones are on shift too. Right now, it'll cost you about $6.75 a minute to launch it from the sheriff's office and man it from your sheriff's office. Well, some of the drones are fast, but let's just say I need you in Century. It'll take me 20 minutes to get to Century. Now, what's my battery life look like? You know, that's the big thing you're competing with drones is your battery life. Even the ones we can launch from locations. Some cities in South Florida are doing that where they're launching, but they only have 10 square miles. Well, a drone can hit 10 square miles like it's nothing. But when you have hundreds of miles either way, it just kills your battery. And so your uptime is very little. So the drone handlers, or drone pilots, they have their little wings and everything. The drone pilots will launch it. They have 6 batteries in the thing. They can relaunch that drone and it can stay up and operational for hours. So, and we utilize that with surveillance. Let's just say we're having a bad issue with a neighborhood being burglarized. We can get a search warrant because by state statute, I can fly a helicopter anytime I want to, but I have to get a search warrant to fly a drone. If I'm looking for something. Yeah, it's some law that Tallahassee passed years ago. They probably need to reevaluate. So I launch a drone, and I can have it up using FLIR and night vision at night, watching a neighborhood that we know is probably having burglaries, and the bad guys don't even see we're watching. Then I link it onto the car they're in. The drone will then the drone pilot can let go of the controllers. It's locked on that car, and it will follow that car until it stops.
Wow, that's cool.
Again, using technology to make our community safer. All right, guys, y'all have any questions for us? If you ever want to see the Real-Time Crime Center, you ever want to see anything, you contact us. We'll make it happen. Okay? It's your sheriff's office.
Somebody asked a question, or I'm going to push you into asking a question.
All right, now, right there. What you got?
I always wondered, what's the difference between the sheriff's office and the police department?
Pensacola Police Department, that's a great question. Pensacola Police Department, it just has the city of Pensacola, which is 50,000 people, and it's like 30 square miles. They have 160 officers. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office polices a population of 300,000, and we have 500 sworn plus another 400, so we're like 9 times the size of the Pensacola Police Department. So they have Pensacola, and the Sheriff's Office can go into the city and do police actions. The city can't come out of the city.
We also got the sheriff,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of the big difference. We got the sheriff. I mean, that's
The
kind of,
sheriff is the highest elected official of the county,
right,
because everyone votes for the sheriff, because he's the sheriff for everyone.
right.
So, but Mayor D.C. Reeves is a close friend of mine and Ronnie's. He's doing amazing things in the city of Pensacola. The Pensacola Police Department is a very good agency, doing a lot of great things. But it's just size in the area of big police. They have about 50,000 people, and we're over 300. They answer probably 60,000 calls for service. We answer over 300,000 calls for service. We have schools. We have the schools. We have the courthouse. We do all the warrant services. We do all of the civil paperwork by state statute, those type of things too. Is a little different.
Does all the schools have a resource officer? All the schools here in Sandy County? I don't think so.
Almost all of them do, because that's a agreement with the school district. If they do not have a sworn officer, they have a guardian. So every school in Escambia County has a good guy with a gun to protect the students. We would love to put a school resource officer in every school, but that is extremely expensive for the school district and for us. But all your middle schools and all your high schools and some of your elementary schools have it. But if they do not, they have a guardian. The guardians, we do all the training. They're hired by the school district, but we do all the training and they do an amazing job. They're the ones with the yellow shirts on. They do a great job and their training is extremely difficult to get through. If you finish that training, you have done a lot because that training is very, very difficult.
That's good.
Any other questions?
Let me ask you something. If you and your mom are in the Walmart and somebody grabs you and throws you in the back of the car, you're not going to know what's going on. What happens? What?
Okay,
You find out about that?
If someone grabs you, you better scream, kick, claw, bite. You make it the worst decision they've ever made. You make them punished with a pound of flesh. I mean, you take chunks out of it. But you're also going to make a scene. You want every eye that's in that place to see you. If they grab you, which very rarely occurs, honestly, that type of situation in our community does vary every blue moon. But if someone ever grabs you like that, they're more apt to try to lure you into a car, like try to talk you to come in. But if they grab you, you scream, you gouge, you bite, you make them hurt, and you make everyone around see. What'll happen is someone's going to call 911, the sheriff's office is going to get there. Immediately, we're going to try to get data. Our real-time crime center will pull up cameras in the area, start to find that. Tag readers, LPRs, they're tag readers. We'll get a tag on that car, and we'll be able to locate wherever it goes. Everywhere it goes in our community, it'll pop. We're coming to you. We're going to find you, we're going to help you, and we're going to put his ass in jail. That's just the truth. That's just how it's going to happen. And what we're going to need is, that's why I say, I need you to scream, bite, everything else, because I need every eye on him or her, because I need every bit of detail I can get. So my deputy's going to get there within 3 to 6 minutes, and they're going to get all the information they can get, and then they're going to be feeding that into the real-time crime center, tag, car, facial recognition, cameras from Walmart. I'll tell you this, Walmart has some of the best cameras. Woo! Don't steal that from Walmart, because they will catch you. Them and Target. Target got some high-definition stuff. You open a wrapper, they'll know you're doing it. It's crazy. Those two are not the places to steal from, because if they have a loss prevention personnel on duty, they're going to catch you. Or they should turn the video from us on the technology how I can find who you are within 30 seconds. In general, if it's a good picture. Now, sometimes the pixelation is bad on some, but Walmart, Target do a really good job. Some home camera stuff is pretty bad, hard to do, because when you try to zoom in, you'll see how people get blurry, you see it on social media and stuff. Some of these videos they put up there, you can't tell who they are. That's difficult. If you're gonna spend money to put cameras on your house, put higher quality cameras. It might be a little more, but at least people know. Like if someone does something stupid, you will be able to find it. Real quick, if you ever want to be involved in law enforcement, the sheriff's office, if you want to be a part of a solution in your community, there is nowhere greater to serve than the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. You literally can make a positive impact every day in the community we love. Starting at 18, you can become a cadet. We hire cadets, we hire people right out of high school. We'll pay for your college. We'll pay you $46,000 a year at 18. $46,000 a year. Yes, pay for your college. And then when you turn 21, you'll go into the academy. And then once you get through the academy and get on the road, right now we pay $55,000. That's without your overtime, that's without side jobs. Side jobs run between $60 and $100 an hour. These side jobs like sitting at Navy Federal's $50 to $60 an hour. They're sitting there hanging out, making money. But you can also positively impact your community every single day. And we'll pay for you to go to college. You don't have to worry about that. We'll pay for it, 100%. And we'll have you in the community every day as a cadet, doing different things, being in movie nights. So we are doing really good things with a lot of local young people that were able to hire 18 right out of high school and get them involved in the sheriff's office, get them involved in their community too. Get them to see all different angles. Give them a solid salary and pay for their college. It's hard to beat. Any questions? Anything? All right, well, thank y'all. If y'all ever need anything, you call the sheriff's office, ask for me. If I'm not there, they'll send my number, they'll send me your number, and I will call you that day. All right, if y'all need something, seriously. We're all in this together. We are only as strong as our weakest link. Remember that. That's why I say you gotta keep strong people around you. If you got no weak links, always move forward. All right, thank y'all.
Thanks, man.
I didn't know you still up here. What did you do? Really? Oh. I guess I must have thought you were, okay.
Okay.
I could head on out. Well,
What did that mean to you? What did you get out of that? Why? What do you think? Talk to me now, don't just sit there like a bump on the stomach.
Yeah, you should be friends with the right people and not people that will get you in trouble. And
Good
never
point.
get bad influence.
We don't need a hamburger.
He's not here, that's right, okay.
Right. Okay. Stick with successful people. You don't need to be with unsuccessful people that have a bad attitude. You've got to have a good attitude. You've got to surround yourself with people that have a good attitude. Does that make sense? What do you think? What do you think? What is a good attitude? Man, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm going to stay here and I want to do this. And Mama, get me some food. Hey, make my... Come on, tell me something. Do the right thing. Yes, sir.
A good attitude is more like when you're thinking positive.
What does positive mean? That's a word that people say. What does it mean?
What did explain positive was?
Okay, what do you think it is? You try. Positive, good things. Good things. Hey man, I'm going to go out here and steal this guy's bicycle. Is that positive? No. Come on guys, talk to me. Tell me something. What? Huh? When you surround, what does surround mean?
Like putting, like things are around you.
Things that are around you. When you surround yourself with people that don't think the same way you do, people that want to harm people, people that want to break things, people that are lazy, you're going to end up being like those people. I got a guy coming in here. Oh, he'll be here in about a half hour. That is I think I told you this. I got a real good memory, it's just short. Got a scholarship to a real, very famous music school in Boston. And he's going to bring his keyboard, and we want to talk to you about what is positive, what is negative, what are you looking for in life? How do you get there? What do you do with it? People say, well, you're young and you can't do this and you don't know how to do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do it. You might screw it up. You might make a mistake. Okay. It's not a big deal. So you make a mistake. So what? Fix it and keep on moving. If somebody around you makes a mistake, are you going to say, ha ha, you're a dummy, you did something stupid, da 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 da? Is that how you're going to react? What are you going to do? What do you say?
Okay, try again. It's okay, try again.
Keep trying. You might, hey, man, that really wasn't real smart. But we do dumb things every now and then.
But if you see someone make a mistake, you can probably direct them again.
You can help them. You can help them. But another thing, there is nothing worse than a know-it-all. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah, I've done this, I've done that. Yeah, I used to drive a race car, NASCAR, and all that. What? You can't even drive. What's going on here? You don't want to be a know-it-all. Okay. Fine. I don't know how to do that. I'll learn how to do that. That type of stuff. Okay. We got, it's going to take Mr. Navarro, I don't know, another 20 minutes or so to pick up the pizza. You've been sitting in this chair for a long time. I'd like for you to get a drink of water, go to the restroom, go outside and burn up some of that energy. Now, you be careful on that swing. Now, I'm pointing at you. Don't get that swing going too hard and hit somebody in the head. You're going to get blood all over the place out there. I don't want that. You hear me? You hear me? Okay. Go. Okay, now. You know the routine. You know what we're going to do. We're going to have pizza when Mr. Navarro gets back. So that means we've got to set up the table, we've got to set up the chairs, and you guys figure out who does what. Let's get the table, let's get basically set up the way we had it set up yesterday. Just hang on. Don't be running around like wild. We've got to get the drinks out of the refrigerator, get one of each, and so forth and so on. You know how to do this. You guys are not stupid. So let's get the thing. One of you get that camera thing and be careful with it and bring it over here and have it pointing in that direction. So I want to get the table set up, get the tablecloths on the top of them, and get the chairs set up. Do it slowly and do it well and organized. And work together. Any questions?
No, sir.
Go. Slow down.
Okay. You guys got the right table? We're gonna put it up there?
They'll figure it out. I'm trying to tell them how to do it, what to do.
Don't come over there.
Well, we screwed that up, didn't we?
Grab the,
There you go.
all right.
Is that the one that falls?
Next time, go, take it around. There you go.
Good job. Good job.
those table legs are snapped in there real good, we don't want to have the problem we had yesterday.
Easy.
What do you guys think of the talk that the sheriff made? Did you find that interesting and informative, or was it just
Yeah, it was good.
hard to stay awake?
I got, somebody mentioned sausage yesterday? I got sausage this time.
She was dancing.
Oh. Okay. Let's go up to the table, Mrs. Gibbs gonna say grace, and we can chow down.
Our precious Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for bringing us together here, enjoy each other's company. Thank you for the sheriff's deputy for coming in here and talk to us and take the time out of his day to give us some good information that will help us the rest of our life. We'd like to thank you for our many blessings. And we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Oh, man. All right, young man, who are you? Who are you? Oh, okay. I think we have it.
How you doing there, stranger? I screwed up. I mixed you up with your brother, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's
Yeah.
talking about?
You want me to go get it?
Well, let me show you what we got. First off, do you want some food?
Yeah, go ahead and help yourself.
Okay, we got pizza.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I should wait to start playing some gospel, you know. But yeah, that's sort of like, kind of how I am. Yeah.
The big thing in our church is when he plays the piano, of course he writes his own music. I mean, you gotta sit down and write something. And when the church starts and all that, is he playing something that the church says play, or is he playing something that he wrote? It depends on how he feels, I guess. And then every now and then, the rumor going around is, oh well, he forgets a certain part of something and all of that, and just ad-libs and just buzzes right through it. Is that true, or is that a big lie?
Yes. No, literally.
So you do forget things occasionally?
No, because like, yeah, when I'm playing in church, I'm like making, I'm improvising. I'm not playing like some sheet music or whatever. That's good too, play that sheet music if you're one of people that do music. But I just play by ear. So, and when it comes with like making something up on the spot, you're gonna take, you know, stuff that's already in it, like in the melody. Like you're singing Amazing Grace, you're gonna play like. And then maybe I just want to go away from that for a second. And it's not the same song anymore, but it still is, you know? It's just like changing it up. And sometimes it's on purpose, sometimes it's on accident. That's literally just how it is.
It just pops out.
You know, yeah. Like, you know, it's just adapting to what I hear in the moment, you know. And yeah,
know I listen to a lot of people play music, and they're transferring music, or they're transferring the notes from a piece of paper to the keyboard, and it just sounds like notes being played. There's no feeling, there's no, it doesn't grab you or something like that. You don't have that problem.
Yeah, that is something I noticed too, because some people, when you play music, you know, it's just like, you know, tempo, you know, yeah. You know, it's like just like straight, you know, like always consistent, which is good. But you can also like play it like differently, like, you know. I feel like Beethoven would not approve at the same time, you know. It's alright. Because, you know, it's music is, you know. Oh my goodness. Deaf? Yeah. But he felt the music, you know. Yeah, but that's the main point. You feel the music, you know. It's like, you know, what you feel, yeah. It's a lot like talking, you know. I'm just talking with the hands on the buttons. I'm just pressing the buttons. Yeah. But yeah. I feel like there's probably a way to relate this to flying, sort of. I don't really know anything about it, so like, can someone like tell me about like that thing or like flight simulators? Like, I don't know, like what do you do? Yeah, no, like please, like what do you do like when you're flying? Can you like no, like okay, I want you to try to summarize flying into like 3 points. Can you do that? Just 3 points. But oh no, you gotta go ahead.
Well, that's like landing and taking off.
Landing and taking off?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite part, yeah. Okay, yeah. Landing? I guess, yeah. There's more of a threat. There's more of a threat of crashing when you're landing compared to when you're flying. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But what's your favorite part? What's your favorite part? The view. The view. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's real. Yeah. That's real. Yeah. Yeah, the view. Yeah, I could like relate that to like playing. So like say we're like about to make a song. Say we're like gonna make a song, right? And we're gonna call our song The Flight, right? Okay, so there's 3 parts. I'm getting 3 parts from flight. There's taking off, there's landing, and then there's the middle part, which is actually the actual flying part. So that's where the view comes in, right? Okay, so what should taking off sound like, I guess?
So like you have to maybe we should have like the
Build up, yeah. So you have to,
It's like nice and soft, it's like you should do nice.
do you pull up? What do you do?
Well, we pull away from the beginning, nice and slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So nice and slow, pull up, sort of, what is it, building up? Okay. And I guess it probably would be fitting to start lower since we're on the ground. So I guess we'll start lower. Yeah, so low, we're on the ground. You probably heard that, you know that space thing? Low space. That space thing. You know that one? You know, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You hear it like every space movie. Okay, so taking off, build up. What is something that happens, I guess, I feel like taking off is more than a process of getting off the ground. At least when I am in an airplane, it feels like a normal process. I think for me, the scariest part definitely is landing, like even like obviously being a passenger. But taking off is sometimes a little scary too. I'm not a big fan of shaking airplanes, not a big fan of turbulence. So that's one thing. So yeah, okay, so we have taking off. We're gonna do taking off. What should we do directly after taking off? Because we're not all the way up in the air yet. So let's say we're like right here, and we're like, this is our runway, right? Okay, so, and like around here is where like we're taking off, right? What does that process look like? Going up. I don't know, like if you think, like this is for like overthinking, but yeah, you know. You were saying? Like picks you up?
It goes by something like,
Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna start at the bottom. And slowly like go up. And then yeah, sort of like go up and move where it's up. Perfect. So that's our intro. That's our rough intro, so to speak. Who plays an instrument here? 1, 2. Okay. Okay. All right. Do you know what major and minor is?
yeah.
Okay. What is major and minor? You got it.
Like, I know C major, like C major is C key, and then C minor. You move the middle finger down one half step down.
Yeah.
That's how much control.
Yeah. That's like, yeah, that's how you get to major. That's how you get from major.
Hey, y'all calm down over there. Y'all calm
Yeah,
down.
that's how you get from major to minor. The thing about it is, like, major is, people broadly describe it as like happier, you know, it's like more positive, like, and then minor is like sadder, you know, that's normally how people describe it, yeah. So that's my question. Should we have the takeoff start minor or major? Should it start like happy, sad, I don't know. Like what?
I thought we might be putting it.
Happy? Happy? Major on that? Okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the beginning is very optimistic, you know, like you have hopes and dreams of getting to your destination, hopefully, alive. And you know, like without crashing and anything. So yeah, all right, so we'll start major. And yeah, how do y'all feel about that build up, I guess? London? Okay. Wait, are you going from or are you going
From here to
from here to London? Pensacola, I don't think Pensacola is an international airport, but Denver? Alaska. Okay. So we have a few destinations. This might be like a few stops, right? So, okay, let's say we stop. We're going to pretend that we can fly from literally like right here to where we're going. All right, so London, Denver, and then Alaska. All right, cool. Big or small? Votes on big. How many? Hands up. Big. Okay, we're gonna go. Yeah. I don't know like different airplane types. Like, what is a big airplane? You know, okay, it's just at the airport. Big airplane at the airport. You know. I don't know. Airbus, something, whatever. Yeah. Okay, cool. What are we flying? Delta? Spirit. Spirit. All right, we're flying Spirit. I feel like, yeah, okay, yeah, Spirit. Cool. Okay, we have a lot of information.
I don't feel like we send like this is like we had the first time for Ronnie and there's one or something.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm feeling very positive at the beginning. Take off, boom, we're in the sky, like you said, positive, looking at the clouds. Look outside and see beautiful clouds. That's great. I have a strong urge to make it dark at one point. Yes. Okay, yeah, great. So let's maybe some thunderstorm, maybe a little turbulence. We'll try that. Okay, we're gonna go up to the part you described and say we're gonna go to London. So we're gonna go from takeoff to London, and hopefully I can figure this out. Yeah. Snowboarding, snow, I'm getting snow, all right. Okay, so here's a question, because I'm not really sure right now. What does cold sound like?
Like hot.
How does
Dark Florida, so.
Yeah, it's
no,
no.
it's on ice. It makes like that high sound. That's what I always do. Like the sound you get glass.
Can you hear glass?
Yeah.
Okay, so like sort of high pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like low and warm, and I feel like that's pretty cold. Okay, yeah.
Maybe a little Christmas vibe, not too Christmas.
Yeah.
It feels like Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so snowboarding, snow, cold, great. All right. We're gonna fast forward to Denver. We're just gonna make the flight sort of theme around cold. All right. So we're taking off again. I'm gonna change key. Pick a letter between A and G. Between H, I, yeah, between.
C.
Not C, we were just in C. In what?
B.
B? You say E? Okay, we can start at B and then we can end B. We can do that. So B for before, E for end. I don't know. Okay, let's do it. I feel like this is like a night flight, sort of. Because London and Denver are far away. So we're going to be...
Snow vibe,
Yeah. So this is sort of night, sort of calm. So maybe you're remembering London as you're going. This is terrible. Wait, how's London Bridge is falling down? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Almost forgot. Ready? Oh, still makes me think of Christmas. Huh? We're in Denver. Oh, I forgot. We were going to two cool places. Okay, hold on. You said what? Nature. Yeah, I like that. Cool. That was nice. Okay, we gotta find something unique about Alaska because fish.
Ice and shit.
Hmm?
Ice and shit.
Ice fishing. Northern Lights. Oh yes. Aurora Borealis or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I really like that. That is good. That is good. We're gonna go crazy for that. Skis. Oh, Huskies. Okay. Huskies, Northern Lights, ice fishing, ice and fish. Okay. Nighttime vibe again for sure. We can like fish in the morning. We can do the fishing in the morning, I feel like. And then what was the other thing? Huskies?
Yeah, we can ride huskies to see the Aurora.
Riding Huskies to see Aurora Borealis. That sounds great. Have y'all seen those? What's that movie?
super good, and super sad, or like,
Yeah.
One day they were like those dog.
No, I'm
Yeah, that was
I also like a very good one. Because
That's
his
a
dogs are
really
being
good dog
coordinated,
movie
just
for
like super.
snow.
Yeah, there was they had a snow movie and they called it Snow Buddies or something.
Or
Yeah.
snow bars.
Snow Buddies, maybe now, yeah. I don't know why I thought of that. But okay, we're gonna do it's like a sled, right? Dog sled. So like huskies, dog sled, ice fishing in the day, and then at night we're gonna check out our else. Okay, sounds dope. Sounds dope. All right, cool. This one I feel like we can be a little more upbeat on this. We've been kind of chill. So we're gonna try to figure that out. Okay. This is our final destination, Alaska. We need another letter. A for Alaska. Okay, yeah. Let's start off with G and we'll go to A. Yeah. So that's G. That's A. Different keys. So yeah. All right. I kind of want to start up here because we've been starting down there. I kind of want to start up here. We're already flying. You know, we're just pulling up. You know, we're just, yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go. We're off having a jolly little time ice fishing. I don't know. Seems, very happy. So, let's go. Ice fishing. I'm gonna call that song Ice Fishing. Thank you very much. It's on Spotify.
That sounds like music you hear at the side of that movie. It's really,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Honestly, I signed up for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we gotta have something more upbeat for Huskies though. Like something like, like we're going. We're going.
Good.
Yeah, we're going. I don't know. What genre do you think of when you think of Huskies? I don't know. That's a weird question. Not like genre, just like feeling, I guess. Hip hop? I don't have beats on this thing. Wait, do I have beats on this thing? I don't know. That's terrible. I need like an actual.
That sounds like a battle.
What is this? Okay, look. You blocking work, like where you do the graduation? Okay, I'm gonna hold off on the beat. Because that's not what I have to look at the manual. It's weird. It's like a button. It's like a shift and you press a random key and it does a random thing. I don't know. we work with what we have today. I'm ready to see the aurora borealis. I'm feeling it. It's like, what colors? Like green, blue.
Green, purple, blue, pink, and
What song do you know what?
Huh?
What song do you know what, like, song else? He said,
What songs?
yeah, what song do you know what?
What do you mean, what song?
Like, any song.
Look, I play by ear. So if I hear it, I'll play it. You know?
You better watch.
So
Like,
if you play a song, I can listen to it and I can try to replicate it. Let's get this aurora borealis thing out of the way. Maybe we can do that, you know? Yeah. Okay, cool. Aurora borealis, it's nighttime. We got that fish. Ooh, we got salmon. We cooking it up over the fire. And all the photos I see of like aurora borealis are like often like ice or like snowflakes or something, you know, it's like really cool.
it could be like in one of those ice things.
Igloo.
Yeah.
Yeah, igloo. Igloo, we got fire, we got ice, we got fish. I'm gonna say fish, not ice. We got trees. Yes. And we got huskies. So,
And don't forget to snow.
go home.
It's not.
Right. So, yeah. Like makes me think of stars. It's sort of like it's almost like a little bite. That's good. We went like 3 places. We're like a lot of places really. Oh, I guess all part of that is like one thing. Yeah, explore
Use
music.
that culture.
Yeah,
You show us how to be a good kid.
yeah. So that's one thing. Applying this beyond music because I feel like you can draw a lot of things from beyond music, and I feel like one of those things is that there's a lot of creativity that can go into anything you do, right? And like I actually let's hear some of the things like you want to do. Like I know Elijah, you said you want to do like music. Take, right? What do you want to do? No, you know? That's good. That's that thing too. Like honestly, I feel like that's also kind of scary too. Because like either even knowing what you want to do or but also not knowing what you want to do, like either way, you're up against, sometimes it like feels like you're literally up against everything else. Like you're literally up against the world. You know, people will tell you you can't do certain things, you know, you gotta do it the way this other person did it, you know, and that's the only way you can get to where you want to be. And I think the lesson from that is like comparison is really destructive. And comparison can also be good, but there's 2 kinds of comparison. There's where you're comparing yourself to other people and you're seeing all the great things they're doing. This is the good kind. If you're seeing all the things they're doing and you're like, you know, that makes me want to do better, you know, that makes me want to like strive after what, you know, they're accomplishing. Like that's something I need to do more of. Like I need to be more, not you know, putting myself down, but like appreciating of other people's talents and like what they can it's, you know, it's called inspiration. It's like being inspired and stuff. You know, the bad kind of comparison, and this is something I struggle with, is where you look at someone else and maybe they're like doing a lot better than you and they have a lot more, you know, things at their disposal. You know, when you look at them and you're like, you're not building yourself up. You're just putting yourself down. There's like, it's basically just how do you process what you're getting from them. You know, how do you process how their success makes you feel? Does it make you feel motivated, or does it make you feel like, well, you know, I can't do anything about it, so like, what am I gonna do? This summer has been really weird for me because one thing, coming from college, I really wanted to like jump right in and get busy, you know, get a job when I got back, you know, start making some more money so I could support myself for college, and stuff like that. Things didn't work out that way. Summer's like kind of halfway over, and last week I was kind of despairing because I was like, well, what are you doing, man? Like, where's your job at? Where's your money at? Like, you gotta, like, you know, look at all these other people who are doing these great things and they're being productive and, you know, they're making, like, you know, they're actually, you know, contributing. And one thing I feel like a lot of our minds do, at least my mind likes to do, is add all the negative stuff that you do, and it just focuses on the bad things, you know? Like, you completely forget all the good stuff that you've done, that people see in you, and that's a really damaging thing. That will destroy literally how you move, like how you act in life. You're not gonna want to do things differently than you are, if you're looking at other people and saying, well, you know, I don't think I could get there. But the thing is, you don't need to get there. You need to get where you're supposed to be. That's literally like where God wants you to be. Like, you'll hear the term like the best version of yourself. And it's kind of corny, but it's also kind of true. Because the best version of yourself is literally just the you, not only someone who gets to a certain point, but someone who keeps trying to get to a certain point, right? I think for me, that's something, I'm literally like, I'm talking to myself as well. You gotta get yourself, you're not trying to get to an end goal. There's not really end goals. It's more like, you know, process. It's more like growing, you know? And you don't stop. You literally cannot stop. I have a lot of work to do. For one thing with piano, you gotta practice. I don't practice, which is damaging to what I want to do because this is what I want to do, right? But if I don't, you know, add water to the flower pot, if I don't like try to contribute to it, if I don't grow, then, you know, I'm kind of just sitting where I am. There's this Bible story, and you might have heard it before, but there's this dude who has like a bunch of servants, and he gives them all talents, which is like a, you know, ton of money. And I think it's, you know, it's related. He gives them all talents, and he says, go make the most of what I give you. I've given you this thing, now multiply it, you know, invest in it, actually apply it, and like learn from it, grow. And two of the dudes did it. The third guy was like, nah, I'm sure where I am, you know, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to, you know, face tribulation, I don't want to like have a bad time, so I'm just going to chill here and see what I can do. That's what me not trying to apply myself looks like. That's what me not, you know, trying to get out of my comfort zone looks like, where I'm just, you know, satisfied with where I'm at. You're never going to get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to do anymore. I don't need to grow anymore. You know, I'm grown. No. Like, that's, I don't know. I think this is not me just talking to you guys. I'm like literally trying to talk to myself as well, because it's something we all need to work on, you know. And I think one of the best things to do like with that is just like help each other with that, you know. Like if you see your friends and they're sort of at like one place and they're stuck, whatever it is, like, you know, like try to, you know, help them out of that. You know, be like, hey, you know, don't get down in the dumps because you don't feel like you can get out. You know, you can get out. It's not your own strength alone. You're going to need help. You're going to need God. You're going to need to pray. You're going to need your friends. But at the end of the day, you know, you use what you need. You use what you have. You know, you use what you have, and that's all you need. Yeah, whole like motivational talk from music. You know, but it's like, you know, really like you see how things apply to other things outside of what they are. You know, just how like we literally just connect and fly to music in a way that was kind of crazy. You know. So, yeah. All I have to say is, like, you know, don't get stuck in a hole. And break free from not only what people tell you to do, or like people tell you you can be or should be, but break free from what you feel like you can't do. You know, break free from that. It's not arrogance, right? Don't be overly. It's not really confidence, but don't be overly confident where you feel like, oh, I can do whatever, you know, and like, you know, I'm not going to face any repercussions. And also that, like, that's something I still have to learn too. But you know, when a door opens, you'll hear this a lot. And I'm just repeating what people probably have already like said to like all of us.
Aircraft be advised information echo now current altimeter 2000.
That's terrifying. But yeah, no, like when the door opens, you know, if it's an opportunity, go for it. And I'm probably the last person to be telling people this because I just don't do this. I don't always go to things, but you know, things come up and you make the most of it. So yeah, that's my spiel. That's my spiel. That's my talk. I hope you take that, and you're going to hear it over and over again. So, and I need to hear it over and over again. So, just repeat the message. You know, don't get stuck. Keep moving. You know, yeah. You wanted to hear a song so I can play it? Yeah, I feel like you were waiting for me to do it.
No, I'll
Okay. But yeah. And as you can see, I'm an interesting person. I talk more through music than I do words, so that's just how I speak. So if you're good, I'm just, you know.
How often do you practice?
Prime practice.
And Brian.
In my prime, every day during the week. So Monday through Friday. I started doing that 2 weeks ago. We're trying to keep it going. So hopefully it can continue.
What about now?
Now, I practiced yesterday, so okay.
When I say the word practice, people hear you sit at a keyboard and you do things. How much do you process this information in your mind when you're not absolutely sitting at the keyboard in your own little world somewhere and you're saying, well, you know, I did this way the other day and I don't really like that, or wow, I heard this, or I heard that. How much of that information do you process on a daily basis?
Yeah, so there's two kinds of practice. I should have clarified. So one kind of practice is where I sit down and I look at my sheet music. And I'm like, all right, you know, we have this Bach piece. I'm not going to play anymore because I'm going to mess up and embarrass myself. So, you know, that's, you know, actual like repertoire, sorry, but like pieces that I was given by my instructor or that I'm trying to learn. That's one kind of practice. And then practicing, you know, technique and stuff. Scales, you know, if you play like music, you're probably going to have to do scales. The other kind of practice is where, kind of what I was doing now, just playing freely and just, you know, experimenting, doing literally whatever my mind wants to do. You hear something, if it sounds good, you do it again. That's that.
What if someone laughs at you?
Someone laughs at me, ooh, man. I'm gonna like go off of that, because like when I went to the college I'm at, there's a lot of crazy musicians there. Like, I mean crazy as in good. Like these people are children of people who are famous. Like that level of stuff. Like think of literally any musician you like, or any like artist you like. I assure you, one of their close relatives is going there. Like it's crazy. And scared, which means they're all good, right? I came in kind of like, you know, I'm pretty good at what I do. I can do a little something. I was humbled very quickly. But also, when this goes back to like the comparison thing, I could have either taken that humility and turned it into self-hatred, just like, you know, not like what I can do, or taking it and doing more with it, you know? So yeah, people will, I haven't been laughed at explicitly, I've been side-eyed. You know, people have been like, you know, like, yo, stop. Especially with jazz is scary because you have to work in a team and you're creating something that's very specific. And yeah, people will look at you weird and be like, yo, what's up?
How do you get through that?
That is largely not taking it to heart and also realizing that what people think of you is at the bottom of what matters. You know, you should still be aware of it, but once it gets to a point where you're not just aware of it, when it gets to a point of where, you know, you're like looking at yourself and like, yeah, you're agreeing with them, you know, like, yeah, what am I doing? Like, what's up? Like, what's my problem? You start getting negative about yourself. That's the problem. What do I do about it? When people do that, sometimes I'm not good at it. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you're right, and then I'll be sad. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you're right, and then I'll be like, but let me show them, you know? Let me show them what I can do, you know? And at the end of the day, it's not even for them, it's for myself. Like, you know, you're gonna hear this saying a lot too, or I'm kind of saying it wrong, but like, you know, you're only racing against yourself. Like, you're just trying to beat yourself. You're trying to, you know, your comparison at the end of the day is who you were back then and who you are now, right? And that's a daily thing. That's a continuous thing. You're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. I mean, we're not a lot of years apart. I'm still doing it, but like, you know, like I'm sure, like, you know, but yeah, like it's something that is continuous.
I got a question. You said, I know jazz is like a team player, you know, drums, pianos, and guitars and all that. Have you ever played in a jazz situation?
Yeah, fortunately. Well, I say unfortunately because it's not like where I originate from. I was I learned classical music and I play by ear, but jazz is a certain style of playing. It's very unique and there's do's and don'ts. And I didn't know the do's and don'ts the past few times that I played in them. I get better every time I do. So yeah, I played in a few.
And my next question, have you been in a situation where you're a team player, but one person decides to go off on his own, improvise, and kind of set things off a little bit? Have you been in that?
Yeah, so when you're in a band, there's like I said, there's do's and don'ts. There's a process. So let's say we have a song, right? You're gonna have a few people. Let's say our band, we have a pianist, we have a guitarist, we have a drummer, and we have a bassist. Basic, super, super basic band. We have 4 people. Small bass, guitar, drums, piano. That's me. So, when you have those 4 players, there's turns that come to the music. So one, you're gonna all be playing at the same time sometimes, and then sometimes you're gonna drop out and let someone else take the spotlight, you know? That's, you probably heard it before, that's what's called solo. Like when someone has like a saxophone solo or something like that, you know? That's when the band backs off a little bit and lets them, you know, take the spotlight and playing. They're still playing sometimes, but they're lowering that. It gets a problem when the soloist either goes outside of the scope of the song or goes outside of the scope of time. They're just soloing forever. You cannot solo forever. You need to back up and say, all right, I've had my say, go back, and you know, we're gonna sing. We're gonna play together now.
You gotta be a team player.
Yeah, that's the team player part is, you know, your turn will come, but that's exactly it. It's a turn. It's not a, you know, oh, I feel like doing this now, I'm gonna step out of that, you know. It's working together to get the best result. And then you start together and you finish together. Everything in between is, you know, maybe someone has a strength in a certain area, and you'll find your strengths, but at the end of the day, you're gonna end together, and that's like team player 101. Music is very educational in terms of stuff like that.
It
team
is.
player, yeah. But yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. But yeah.
Do you find it beneficial to you to improve? Of course, I think attitude's everything. Can you improve your attitude about accepting challenges and meeting challenges head on with some external source, like a book or listening to a specific musician or something to kind of get your brain headed in some kind of direction? Am I making any sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so like challenges.
Say again?
So like challenges, like how do I?
If you reach that plateau, and we all reach a plateau in whatever we do. We get to a certain point, and there we are, and we're trying to break through, and we're trying to advance more and more, and we can't get by. How do we get past that plateau, or how do you do that?
Yeah. So that goes back to the thing I was saying before. You never stop growing, right? There will be times when you reach, like, you know, the word like plateau. You'll reach a point where you're, you know, it's a milestone. It's like, you know, you get to a point and you're like, wow, I'm doing this one thing. And, you know, I could stop here. That's an option. And sometimes it's easier to stop here. And when it's easier to stop there, that's sort of, I guess, I feel like that's when it becomes a plateau. Where it's like super easy to stop growing. It's super easy to stop achieving or getting better at the skill. So you just don't. That's sort of my definition of a plateau. How you get out of that is one, realizing that there's always much more in any field that you can learn. And it's striving after that. It's wanting to learn more. And if you want to learn more, you're going to learn more. It's probably going to get you out of your comfort zone sometimes. I will say, for example, I'll go back to jazz again. I didn't practice or learn jazz before I came to this school. So when I showed up and I saw them doing a lot of things that I wasn't familiar with, I was like, okay. So clearly I've plateaued in my skills and I wasn't trying to get better at anything until I was like, I saw this new thing and I was like, all right, that's something new. That's something I can't do. That's something I feel like I can grow into. So let's try it out. And it really helps with stuff like that to have other people to hold you accountable. Have someone who's like going to check up with you and see if you're making progress in whatever you're doing. So it can be something like literally as simple as like painting a picture or like going into painting. If you want to be an artist, like do paintings. And maybe you like doing like old-timey, like Renaissance paintings, but maybe, you know, you do that all the time and you're like, it's like nothing different, you know? Then that's when you get uncomfortable. That's when you switch it up. Maybe you start painting abstract. Maybe you don't use a paintbrush. Maybe you use the background of the paintbrush. You know, do something weird. Do something different. Like once you get out of your comfort zone, you'll be like, okay, you out there, be interested, and you're like, okay, let me try it out. Or you'll be like, no, you know, I'm good. I'll stay where I'm at. And that's not necessarily bad, but it doesn't really get you anywhere, really. You know, there should always be something you're trying to, you know, move into. You know,
Somebody has. Oh, go ahead.
Do you find being surrounded by those highly professional, famous individual families pushes you a little bit and helps you to excel?
yeah, I think one thing for me especially, like I didn't think I would be with these kind of people before I even turned 18. My birthday is in November. I was at school when I was 17. And I was like, how am I here, right? It was weird, like, but you see that stuff, and for me, it was like, it made me realize, and like, just realize this, because as soon as you realize this, like, it's great. The world is very small, so people seem famous and very distant and high up in certain places. They're really not. They're just like, they're just regular people who are known by a lot of regular people. Like, that's literally it. That's not to bring them down, but at the same time, you don't have to put yourself down because someone is popular or someone is, you know.
Would you say that again, please?
Yeah, you don't have to put yourself down just because someone is popular or successful.
You hear that?
Yeah.
That's the best advice we're ever going to get.
Yeah. And once again, this is something I'm working with. I'm trying to figure out right now. And it's not something that you're going to, I'm not going to say not stop struggling with, but it's always going to be in the back of your mind sometimes. And that's when you have to suppress your thoughts and just give your thoughts to God. Just like let, you know, negative thoughts that, you know, you assume things about people, man, some person's better than me just because they're here. Just get that out of the back of your head. Think about something else, you know? I don't know. But yeah.
Simple question here. Somebody had a keyboard in their house. They wanted to, mess around a little bit. What would you, a good learning point? Would just be practicing scales or just simple?
People would probably tell you to start with scales. Scales are important, but that's technique. And when I feel like most people who pick up music, unless, either your parents are making you, which I'm gonna be honest, my mom did force me to learn piano.
Is that right?
Well, no, I wanted to, and then I didn't want to. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. I was like 5, 6 years old, and she's like, no, lock in, keep doing it. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. But I'd say start doing something you love. So like, if you hear a song, look up on YouTube someone playing it and just copy it. If you have fun doing it, then it's gonna be more.
I'm just being honest, most people, I'm talking about myself, have a fingering issue. So
That's why I was saying that's where the technique part comes in. Obviously, you're gonna want to practice how to move your fingers, but like, you don't even need to get into that. You could just like practice this weird exercises. Like, okay, try this. Try this. You take your first, third, and fifth finger, put them down on the table, and then I want you to switch it with the other 2 fingers, like this. And then kind of change. So look, first, third, and fifth, and then your pointing finger and your ring finger, it's like switching. Like this, it's weird.
That's a good intro.
If you can do it, that's great. If you can't do it, that's great. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I could do this last week. I just saw it. But like, it's like, I don't know. That's like a weird exercise. Try it out. But practically, when it comes to like learning like finger technique, that is literally just repetition. You're obviously like anything like flying, like this, like the more you do it, the better you are. It's just also the more you do the right thing, the better you are doing the wrong thing. Yeah. So scales, YouTube is amazing. Don't rely on it though, because but scales, and and at the end of the day, it's also great just listen. If you hear a song and you're like, that sounds like, that sounds good. Let me try to find out what that sounds like. That's where the playing by ear comes in. There's different ways you can do that. Some people will play by ear and don't read sheet music, like obviously it's other way around. People read but don't, can't like play like this. I'm more on the spectrum of playing by ear. I can read, but do I love it? No. But But
Now's your chance, guys, to ask your questions.
I have maybe 1 or 2 songs I want you to listen to. And I haven't listened to them in a long time. They might not understand, but I know you do. And I also have another question, like also step question. So we're going to talk about that. Have you ever performed, or have you ever heard a song that was hard to play and it was hard to master, but then once you mastered it, it felt good? Or like challenging?
for sure. There's this one song you probably heard before. It's like super fast. I played it on also. Could be. It's like. It's been a while, but that was a fast one, and I was in 10th grade or 9th, I think, and I was like, oh, I want to play that. My teacher was like, really? Okay. And I was like, I really want to play it, and she was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna be honest, I did not master that piece, but it did feel good when, I performed it for a concert. It was for West School, and I think it was the school year I performed it for a concert. And I did mess up during the performance. I did play it 2 times faster than I should have been, which was also self-destructive. But at the end of it, people were like, I feel like you hear a lot more mistakes that you make than people do sometimes. Sometimes, actually a lot of the time, people will hear things better about you than you do yourself. Like with music, I can mess up a lot, and you probably notice because you often we're more hypercritical of ourselves than other people.
You can cover it up.
Yeah.
I know all about it.
That too, yeah, just cover it up, yeah. I pretend, like, you know, if I can't run up, I just call it jazz, you know? And just let me get back to it. But yeah, to answer your question, it felt great, but I also felt like I could do so much better with that song. I'm gonna come back to that song. I'm telling myself to come back to it and like relearn it and do better. So, yeah, I think my answer to that is like, I don't think I've ever mastered anything. I feel like I just, you know, I can get it to a certain point, but there's always, you could always keep going. Like, honestly. Mastery isn't technically real. Like, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but yeah.
What's the second part?
It's also, there's like one thing I remember I did like a few times where I had to like go on stage and speak, and all like the spelling bee was like my first time ever going on stage. That was cool. And I messed up the word 5, but she said it's embarrassing. But she was like, spell 5, and I was like, because I used to think the X, because you know the X was like 2 B's, one was up, one was down, so I was like, it's like XE, and they told me to go on stage, and like, all the kids laughed at me. But how do you deal with like stage fright? Like, do you have it?
That's a good question.
How do you?
This is TMI, but I tend to have to use the restroom whenever I'm scared before. I don't know what happens. I become a little gaseous, and hey, it's real though, right? Yeah, thank you. I'm not the only one. But if I'm nervous, it's kind of bad, and that's right. But anyway, besides the point, yeah, stage fright. For me, sometimes, stage fright, it can mean a few things. I don't think I'm afraid of a lot of people. I'm afraid of what I'm going to do. Sometimes, I feel like that's like really the main part of it. What mistake you're going to make. And then when you do make that mistake, it just doesn't get it. You screws up. And then the next time you're on stage, you remember that mistake and you're like, ugh, I hate that. You're right? Yeah.
Let me ask you one more thing. If you took a yellow pad and you drew a line down the middle and you said, things I remember, good things on the left and bad things on the right. Things I remember that I did. Good on the left, bad on the right. Which would be the longest column?
That's a very good question. If I'm being honest, the bad on the right, for me, it'd probably be that on the right. I think that's a big issue.
That's my point.
And that's the thing. I feel like we see the list on the right. I feel like God sees that other list.
Real quick. Yeah, I feel like when there's like a list, because I've also been dealing with this myself, because a lot of stuff going on. But when I look at stuff, like all the bad stuff I done, because I'll look at it like all the time, like even, because like I dream a lot, I have a whole bunch of dreams. And like even when I do have these dreams, bad stuff always seems to happen, and then sometimes there's good stuff. So when there's like 2 lists of bad stuff and good stuff, some of the stuff of like good outweighs the bad stuff, but then sometimes you'll do like maybe one bad, let's just say, oh, I hit him, and like you think about it like 2 days later. Sometimes the bad stuff, for you, it depends on some people, outweighs the good stuff, but I feel like you should focus more on the good stuff and try to, the word I say a lot is evolve, because I play Pokemon, so you gotta evolve a lot. Yes. That's the main thing you should always be doing. And for me, I've been dealing with this ever since I got out of school. I've been wanting to evolve. I've been like you're always hungry for knowledge. And for me, since I'm 19, I don't feel like 19. I don't feel like I have the knowledge to be a 19-year-old. I'm still hungry for knowledge. So every time I'm in my room, because like I would have moments like him, I would lay in my bed and just sit there and just be like, what do I need to do? What do I want to do in life and stuff like that? And I would just sit there and just be thinking about the bad things. But he said you shouldn't think about it. That's good for him, but for me, I'll have to sit there in my room, in my bed for like, the longest I sat there was like for a month, just sad. myself, I've also pushed myself forward because I was like, because I did a whole bunch of bad things. Oh, maybe another time we'll talk about it, maybe tomorrow. But
I could match that list, but go ahead.
But I would sit there and be like, why would I do that? I could have done better. But now, after that month, I'm hungry. That's why I say I'm hungry. I want to learn so much. At the age of 19, I don't feel 19. I feel like I'm 16, still in middle school learning about stuff. I want to know more about everything. But I feel like that is,
People don't think about what you do as much as you think about what you do. And we have a tendency to forget that. Like what he's saying. When he makes a mistake, bing, it's imprinted indelibly in his brain. Most of the people listening didn't even hear it and never even give it a thought. But we do as individuals, we think of those things and we beat ourselves over the head with that. You gotta put that to bed. You gotta put it aside. You can't worry about your mistakes. Learn from them and move on. Wow, this is the best session I've ever had. Anybody got anything to say? Questions? Anything you want to add something? Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's your show.
No. So I have do you have any songs that you like just really remember? Like for me, I have songs that I remember I played so well from my piano recital when I was 10 years old. You used to have me.
Yeah, this is not a bragging, right? But you know, this song, I learned it in one day and I was like, oh, I like it. And I just played it all the time. Yeah, that's one. I have if there's a catchy song, sometimes I'll accidentally just crank it over and over again. Like this is one song called Yellow Jacket, and they use it a lot in gospel and jazz. And it's like, I play that over and over again. It's just obviously, catchy songs you learn and you're like, oh, it just keeps coming back. Yeah. I need to get back into more of the songs that I used to learn them when I was actually taking lessons in high school. Because, yeah, I learned songs for concerts and stuff. Now I don't have concerts per se. I have more so bands and people who call me to work on songs and stuff. That's it's different kind of motivation. I feel like, definitely it's good to have those, songs that you think back to. You got songs that you...
For me, this 2-3 songs that I played is the one that stands for marching in. First song called Alouette, and then a song from my old piano book called Swing.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. Yeah, but I think that's the same for me.
Every time I think of my sex, when I just to go through song
Have you ever heard of Eddie Duchin?
There's 2 songs. I want to hear this one because this one, it was elementary, 5th grade. I heard this song for the first time when it came out and it was beautiful. And it's there's a piano, obviously, and then it mixes up into a little bit. So I just want you to listen to it. It's crazy. It's not crazy, it's simple. It's really simple.
How do you know?
After I heard it, I was just listening to it. It's simple.
He can't get with it, so he can
Oh, yeah.
Who sings that?
Mario.
Wait, I can tell if he does the piano or.
Yeah, you're right.
Come out of the ship. Big time.
Yeah, like,
And we did it.
yeah, like, yeah.
See? Yes.
That guy's good.
You read right in.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, strings. Just strings.
Change keys.
That's so cool. It is really nice. That's so
All right. Everybody get your notebooks and pencils out. Get them out. Spell your name, your full name. Write this name down. You're going to read about it in the future. Write it down.
That's important. All right. R-O-N-E-L-I-O. R-O-N-E-L-I-O. Romelio. That's the first name. R-O-N-E-L-I-O. And the last name is Fleming. F-L-E-M-I-N-G.
Does your brother play an instrument?
He used to play violin. He's supposed to be playing cello, but no. I'm trying to get cello. Cello is huge, but I love how it goes. It's just like, you know. If I could learn any instrument like immediately, be cello, maybe sax, maybe drums.
Which one, the alto? I do alto, which one do you do? I do, which sax? I do alto sax.
Probably alto. Yeah. Tenor's cool, but Tenor's cool, but it's alto.
You and your brother ever collaborate, get together? I mean, he's still learning, but do you ever?
So in terms of collaboration, he doesn't play violin anymore.
Oh, okay.
But he's like artistic. So he does like drawings and like free designing and stuff like that. So he's helped me like make like some of the videos I have on YouTube for some
Yeah.
of the songs I made. So that is pretty helpful.
That's cool.
He's a different kind of creative, more visual arts. I'm more sound, playing the down. You can see it. So yeah. But yeah.
That's good.
If you want, this is kind of unrelated. This is look. I have YouTube
now,
on
you want to
YouTube.
read about him.
But it's like, it's not, some piano music is more like beats and stuff. So, if you watch the YouTube music, I have to share it. But, yeah.
Anybody got anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Yes,
I don't know
indeed.
how to think.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to try one of those things out, but, you know, that's the only,
You can always come back.
the flights that you can do.
Yeah. I don't know. You may have to talk him into it.
That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
We gotta get at least one takeoff and one turn in the pattern and a landing before we leave. We've got a half hour. You wanna fly the sim?
Oh, sure. Sure, I'll call.
Katie, would you get him the sim and get him in the air and go around and do one? Everybody else get on there. We're gonna do one takeoff and one landing.
Your pilot's pretty good.
Oh, the market on this.
Do the landing slow.
Next one, landing down. Back to my grind, I used to live like crazy.
Back your head up, Brian. Look at you. Oh, wow.
Yeah, back to my
Good.
grind. Well, I was crazy.
All right, lift it off. And gently, gently, gently. Be gentle, be gentle. That,
Always here, like,
you know how to do this?
So pretty much, this is the sixth step. This is for pretty much when you're going up and down, simple. This is your speed. This is, see if the plane is turning or straight or upside down. And how high you're going up or going down. And, you know, how much, how many feet you can this on, or you can just go like this about,
Since your buddy's not here, you can
probably not going to be but when you're on the ground, the plane is going to want to turn.
already got it on the runway.
So when it starts turning, right, you push forward, don't hold down. That's the first position. You push forward.
You're lucky, you're
When
lucky.
you get in the air, that's when you use this. So
This was pretty good defensive,
let's watch this, man. When it reaches 60, I need you to pull back. This thing is just a little bit. So, ready? Yeah. This is the speed. This is the only thing you touch. I'm gonna bring you up a little bit so you can just have control.
I think it's best to make it.
Brace it all you off.
Alright,
There you go. Get to 60. Oh, brakes are on, brakes are on. Okay, so
Yeah, I do.
do this. With your feet. When you sit
He said,
there you go.
I know, get off.
Okay, and how you put the knot. There you go. Oh, okay. Just slide it and make it just raise your speed so you're ready. You're good. Almost
I tell you.
Use this farm to see how you like to earn water.
I did good.
Oh, barrel There you go. Okay, so that line right there, I just make it.
Yeah, you're right.
This one right here.
You were right. That river lake.
He's almost at $1.
And that's something. That's something.
This has to be the, like you said, this is the best one.
It's a biggie.
It is.
Sorry, Bill missed it.
Yeah.
He would have been proud.
And to make things simple, use this is called a trimmer. So pretty much
Yeah, we go.
you hold the trimmer down, a little bit, and punch another trimmer down. Make sure that you're not moving this around so like this is like yeah. So right now, this is pretty much what you gotta do. You just look around at the view. That's why I love like.
Like when you're nervous, that's
Right now you're pretty much more covered, so good. We'll let you go out for a little bit, a little bit more. This is like, but when you're in there, it's way more detailed. I forgot. The graphics are better. It feels like you're actually in a real thing. First time I got it. Okay, so start turning to the left. Watch, but it's pretty much like this. Don't listen to her. She has a lot. There you go. Turn it back a little bit.
What is going on?
Who's mine? This is good. Oh, yeah. That makes you turn harder. Like, you just want to go for like a logical sort of left. Doing great. Okay, level it off. Forward. When I say level it off, it pretty much means make it straight. Right there. Pretty much, this is obviously this in the line. Make sure this is always straight with the line. Not exactly. It doesn't have to be exactly. It can be close to the line like this, but it's still perfect. There.
Is it flat?
Right, you see about yeah. So you're going to shake off here. All the way here. This is all you gotta do. You just enjoy the view.
Hey, Cayman, you want to come in here? You want to come in here with them?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, man. Come in here.
You ready? What?
It's already in the air.
What's that? That's the single. That's the real thing. You're gonna the graphics. You can ask them if you want to put it at like sunset because it's beautiful in there. It's mad beautiful in there.
Yeah, sunset is beautiful. But that thing, it feels so realistic. I feel like it's flying.
Right now, since you're gonna be putting here, just get comfortable. Like, turn around, experiment, just don't crash. You're about 2,700 feet there.
Look, I'm no handing this thing right now. I'm no handing it. Look.
But I want you, before you get there, that the machine is way more sensitive. So this is something you're doing right now. I want
It's just like those like.
Right here.
One hand.
You pretty much go to that. Well, as of right now, I'm just playing with you can move the camera around.
Okay, you ready to go?
Look around.
Oops, you're going down the roadway, steer with your feet. Left foot. Oops. Wow. Just quit.
Watch out for the building.
Ooh, what was that?
Yeah, there you go.
No, you got no passengers. I'm good.
Wait a minute, I don't have any borrow. I don't know how to see it. I fly the real ones, I don't know how to fly them. You can, oh,
There it is.
you're back on the runway.
So how hard is it?
Take off from there.
Okay, mixture.
You don't mess with the mixture. Yeah, the mixture party down here right around.
Start spinning, so just keep turning until you see the difference. Are you sure that you know?
You can't mess with the rest of it.
So pretty much what we're gonna do is turn like here, but I want you to smash forward.
Hold on.
Airways go in, you just keep going tight with it.
There you go. I'll try getting him in here one time. Still that one in?
Hello, still. Hello.
Wow, man, you got one good.
Hello.
Now all you gotta do is right now,
Why are you calling me? I'm off the way. Hit right point. That's what we need. Yes, I'm Gene Jeff.
keep lowering your speed.
No, I'm not.
Once you go down,
I'm fine.
there you go.
That's all good.
Ready?
That one?
There you go.
You got IFR. You got EFR.
Yeah. Take the mouse.
There you go, there you go. Now just pull there, pull there, pull there. More. Now pull me. Let's go! Let's go! Beautiful! Beautiful! There you go!
See, this is the reason why you should come back.
Perfect. Beautiful.
All right, man.
This is the reason why you should come back.
That's what a college education in music will do for us.
Perfect. That's dope.
Oh, because we made it sound
Why
like
are we
planes.
even I wasn't too bad. I just wasn't.
I know.
Those are pretty much. This is pretty much your pictures. Pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much. More power to the weight, and then like less fluid.
You know where that airport is?
Okay, let's get it.
You, I heard.
All you gotta do is take it off the pause. It's already.
What that one? That's the big arm right there.
Is the airport behind you?
See, it's super fun, but yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very, when my first time doing it, it's very fun.
Okay, well, they're better now. Tomorrow, I'll put you on easy movements.
I started
Make those big corrections.
There you go, like play ain't working. It's fingering, that's what you like to do scale, practice scale runs or?
Scale run.
Yeah, so you can really get it. Well, that's not hard. Being able to free his flow when they have to play, do that.
Yeah, I gotta quit.
Oh, okay, I got it. Oh, hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? Brother, play anything?
So I just play saxophone. And next year I'll take us to 6th grade to play baritone.
Play the saxophone?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Good?
Oh, yeah, I got some theory ready. I'll make a list.
Really?
Yeah,
Man, you guys got all this guitar they were talking about? Wow.
Can you put me on the VR one?
Yeah, I play the drums, but there ain't no real talent in that. I play for my church.
The drums are cool. I don't know.
Okay, now, straight to the airport. Keep going straight for a while. See here? There's the airport.
I'll take forever, got
There's the airport.
Takes a long time for it to load up.
Turn. Right there.
Yeah.
That may be it right there.
You guys got a talented friend. You play the sax, you play the piano. What is it? What is Ronnie playing? got the real scenery in there.
Go out here, and they return, and we're gonna land on there. Okay?
Get over to your right, so you get right.
Go straight for a few minutes.
Right.
Come back in, make a left turn.
Right there. When it fully loads, that'll be known I'll hit the W or something right in front. It's gonna take probably 2 minutes if I got the new scenery on there.
500.
Wow. What? You're right, Bill's missing a lot on this one.
All right, let's do a left turn. Bring the power back a little bit. Descend.
Step up here, so we're gonna crash one.
Look to the left and see if you can see the airport. Can you see it? That is?
Somebody stalled it in there. He did it?
She's all just a little.
I heard you say, boy, you got it down, man. You did a good job, man. Wow. We need to trade places. You're doing a better job than me.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay. All right. Is that thing away?
Systems ready for departure.
Go ahead, kid. Hold on. I got it.
All right, turn.
All right. Let me know if you want me to center it for you. Ready? Is that good? Okay. What is it, Romeo? Is it Romeo, his name? Romelio? We got Romelio in here. We're filming you, man. We got you on. You got an audience.
Show the viewer. Yes, sir.
We got Romelio. We got instructor came in here. Got him landing twice. He went from the desktop to the big dog.
Yeah, it also shows you your height right here.
We got him landed. We done landed already.
Be good.
Yeah. I had to get some of this.
All aircraft be advised information Foxtrot now current. Altimeter 29908.
All right.
Caution, on taxiway, on taxiway.
Here? Yes.
How's that scenery look? All right. Take it up again, man. Take it up again. Come on, don't fret. Take it up, take it up.
It's down, it's down.
You gotta restart it.
I think I got it.
He can see.
You got it in your hand. Control it. Huh?
I thought you did. Yeah, I did remember.
Didn't hear everybody, you don't know about simulators without one. Someone so well there.
You gotta control it. You gotta take the button. It'll take you where it's over here. It's way over there.
We're done. I don't know what
Right there.
we're done. You guys want to clear what?
Get the W.
You're together, right?
Well, Mr. Skip talked about all those ways. By the way, flying at night is a whole different story. Because when you're flying at night, you can't see nothing except for the stars. That's the beautiful part about it.
Right there. Got it.
Checklist completed.
You got it.
All systems ready for departure.
You got this.
Hey, all right.
Probably should.
What?
Where?
No. You're gonna have to taxi to the runway, probably. Remember to get the brake? You done?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, let me test it out.
All right. Do it again tomorrow.
Alright.
You've been deserted, man. They just left. Where's the airport? No. Oh, we're getting close to it. Yeah, turn left. It's gotta be over there somewhere. They come around, come on around. That's good, straight. That's straight. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong place. Take it a little bit to the right. Huh?
Training well, man.
All right, go straight, go straight.
Hold on. Is this it?
There's more pizza in that thing. There's more pizza in that box.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Want to take some pizza off?
Another drink?
You want to take some pizza off? Yeah, I just like, I'm not supposed to take a pizza if you want to.
Turn a little bit to the left.
Doing good, man.
That's good, go straight.
You were to southwest out of Redwood.
bit to the left. Land right here. Blue thing. Yeah. Go to the blue dot. It's too far left. Too far left. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Now, please, level, go straight ahead.
If you want, it's up to you.
You're doing good. Keep going.
You got to be a VR already in.
Keep going left.
It's better visual, yeah. You just pause that. And, okay. Pause that one. Go over here. Can't really get with me on this one.
How you bought it?
Oh, you got to click the mouse on the window first.
That's a good head.
Click on any window, then hit escape. There you go.
Southwest 1435, just on 18,000. Turn right at 120, turn right look. 78,000, right there, 120.
You're right, you're right.
Southwest 1435.
It keeps getting worse. You've used these before, right? What? Hunters? Once? Twice?
Alright, let's leave that there. There you go. Oh, that's what you got to throw, I forgot. You're right.
That's the only thing.
You're right, you're right, you're right.
I don't know if he's gonna.
It'll be alright, hold on.
No, keep going.
There you go. Come on, guys.
See? Yeah. Yeah, it's on there.
Alright. Repeat.
You ready? Let's see where you're at. Alright. Hands on. Let me move this. That's the only thing. Here you go. Hands.
Straight ahead.
What you got? You ready?
91,000 feet. Warning. Roll angle too high. Warning. Roll angle too high. Warning. Roll angle too high. Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached. Warning.
sir. Hey, easy. Did they stop? I'm gonna push down. Oh, I thought I was gonna run off the back there. That's so sick. Wow. Dang.
Alright, I tell you what, let's
Way easy.
left down.
Hey, that'll be good if it's an emergency situation. Oh yeah, that'll be good. That's sick.